Okay, welcome everyone here. So let's go ahead and begin. My name is Chris Capre. I'm with secondskiesforex.com. I've been with the FX Street community for a while, but I haven't been presenting there since I think 2011 or 2012. It's been a while. I used to present regular webinars there. And I'm joined by Ken Medanic, who is become a partner of mine. Second Skies Forex and Neurotrader have created a joint venture partnership about the Neurotrader technology and the science of optimal decision making. So we have both had the same focus in terms of trading and neuroscience background. And our belief was that there was a way to combine neuroscience and our understanding of the brain and how the brain works and how your brain and body works with neuroscience and technology to really change the way trading education done and change the way trading is done. And we feel that this is the first. There is no other technology out this right now like this. There's nothing like that. There's nothing in documents or studies or anything like that. This is a unique technology that we're presenting to you. And we feel that when this technology gets out there and people start to use it, that trading and trader training and education is going to change completely forever. That we feel that this is the future. We're 100% confident that this is the future. And that's why we've created this kind of program, which is really designed around the science of optimal decision making. So we're actually using science and quantified data, your biodata on your psychophysiology and how you're trading in real time to help you become a peak performing trader and trading in your optimal state. And so that's the goal of this program. And we're going to be talking about that in this webinar. We are going to have a Q&A section at the end of the webinar. So if you have questions, the best thing that you can do is just kind of write them down or type them on some sort of notepad document you have. And then when we go into the Q&A, towards the end, we will start addressing these questions one at a time. We'll open it up and we'll start answering your questions one at a time. But we're confident that once you're done with this webinar, that you're going to see your trading, your performance, your biology, your mindset in a completely different light that has not been presented to you before. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and jump into this. So Ken and I both view trading as a performance-based activity. And we both come from athletic backgrounds. So for any of you who's played sports, if there's been a moment where the game is on the line and it's crunch time, you're going to experience performance anxiety. You're going to experience trading also as a performance-based activity because that's what it is. It's based upon skills that you build and you're having to perform in real time, not knowing what the future or the results or the chart's going to be like. And in that process, it creates biological and physiological responses that are either going to help or hurt your trading performance. And so with that being said, I'm going to pass this on to Ken real quick, who's going to kind of talk about this in a little bit more detail. So Ken, do you want to say something about trading as a performance-based activity?
Yes. So I wanted to just connect on from what you said. This technology is used extensively in sport. So professional athletes, professional Olympic teams revolve around measuring and monitoring the biological responses of their players. This is a multi-billion-dollar industry now. And people like Cristiano Ronaldo, the whole Real Madrid soccer team, Juventus, Chelsea, all use this technology extensively in order to get the most out of their athletes. We're the first people to actually implement this into the trading environment. Usain Bolt uses this same technology extensively in order to shave those hundredths of a second off his best times. And this is what makes someone consistently create the world's best results, similar to Roger Federer and all these sorts of guys. So in the trading environment, we know that trading is a competitive arena in the world. there's in excess of 50 million people who log on every single day to the financial markets, whether retail or institutional, and we're all trying to compete against one another in order to make money out of the markets. And there's a reason why 90% of people consistently fail in trading. And I spoke to a friend of mine who's on the other side of the coin. He's been working for brokerages as a C-level executive for the last 12 to 15 years now. And he said to me, he goes, Ken, you can confidently say that 90% of retail traders that open an account consistently lose, and within 8 to 12 months have depleted their account. And now this is something that's been going on for 20 to 30 years. So there's something, like Chris said, there's something wrong with the way that we're approaching trading and the way that we're training traders to start to succeed. And if we look at sport, which is what we did 9 years ago, we looked at sport. I had the opportunity of having an Olympic coach a few years ago. We worked for 4 months together, and he really got me to hone this technology to what he called the sport of trading. And we really started to see that you can increase your focus, you can decrease your anxiety by using this technology to monitor yourself. Because how do you know if you're nervous or not if you're not monitoring yourself? So that's a little bit the way of how we look at trading as being a peak performance sport.
Yeah, so as well said. So one of the things Ken mentioned there is just how it's being integrated in sport, why it's not being integrated into the trading field. And, we see this as a major flaw in the training field. So, if you look at all the training options available for you to learn how to become a successful trader, they're pretty limited models. It's usually some sort of live chat room or, trading room, or it's going to be an online course where you study videos, and it's a lot of information being pumped out. And the thing about it is that it's teaching you what we would call, some surface skills about trading, but it's not teaching you how to manage your biology or your psychophysiology in a quantified way. Athletes are doing that, sports teams are doing it, and there's a reason for that. They're way ahead of training and traders in terms of the learning curve and the educational process. And we felt like this needs to shift. We need to start focusing on skills and start integrating technology in a way where we can get you this data so that you can be seeing how you're performing in real time. You've all experienced revenge trading. You've all experienced a certain nervousness before you pull the trigger. You don't know what's going to happen. Is it going to be a winning or losing trade? You've experienced emotions in trading. You've experienced performance anxiety in one form or another, and it's thrown you off your trading performance. So many of you have had many winning streaks, and all of a sudden you lose it all in a very short period of time. Why? Because that's your biology and psychophysiology playing against you, because you haven't trained to understand it and use it in your favor. And the bottom line is this, which is that sports teams have realized this a long time ago. And this is a famous saying that you've probably heard: you cannot manage what you do not measure. The thing about it is that what are you as a trader measuring? And so traders as a whole, I've worked with thousands of traders over the last 10 years. I've been trading for 18 years. I was a broker on Wall Street. I traded for a hedge fund, and we were very specific about what we were measuring. But the thing about it is that we were measuring a lot of the results, and we were doing analytics on some of the numbers, but we weren't measuring the root cause of that. And so, Ken, do you want to say something about that in terms of measuring and transitioning from what we've been measuring before to what we need to measure now?
Yeah, so, and I'll connect a couple excellent points that you mentioned, and I'll use the term, and that is performance anxiety, and refer that back to sport. In sports, people have been, as you said, for a long time, they've been recognizing, why does someone miss a penalty or miss an ace in the Wimbledon finals? Why does someone miss a penalty at big games and someone doesn't? Why did someone miss a penalty yesterday and didn't miss one today? And they've really started to address these issues in terms of the psychology and the term that you use, which is psychophysiology, which is the way that you're thinking about what you're doing. So regardless of what you want to do, if you put a lot of pressure on yourself, and your self-talk is very critical when you go to do something, the chances of you successfully doing it are really, really slim. And this is what happens to us as traders, and this is what we term performance anxiety. You see price moving, and you start talking to yourself saying, should I go in now? Should I go in now? I know I've got to wait a little bit more, but maybe it's going to go, wow, it dropped. I should jump in now because I'm going to miss out. And this self-talk, this is how you start to create performance anxiety. But what happens biologically to you is that your heart rate changes, the temperature in your fingers changes, you start to perspire more, and this leads you to then reacting to the market and pressing the buy or sell button at the wrong point in time. To look at it from the other side of the coin, you have a situation where you're self-regulated, your breathing is steady, your mind is calm, your temperature is good, your heart rate is steady and easy, and you can choose the moment, the optimal moment to enter into a trade and to exit out of a trade. So this is the ability to measure. Now, the biggest problem in all this is, as human beings, we seem to forget certain pieces of data. This is why we write things down. This is why we do track certain things, because it's easy to fool ourselves that something is not happening when it really is. So I could say to myself, wow, I really felt calm today and I made a losing trade. But when you measure yourself, like we do with wearable technology, you can view your heart rate. You can view the way that your bodily temperature changed. You can view the way that you perspired, and you can turn around and say, well, Ken, actually, you weren't that calm at all. Yesterday, you were calm, and let's have a look at what your heart rate was yesterday in comparison today. And this goes back to this whole thing that Chris said, you can't manage what you don't measure, because perceptually we will filter things in and out to support our own biases. But with things being black on white, that is, with quantified data, you can't misperceive certain facts. And that allows you to address the facts and to start to change your weaknesses into strengths, and to start to execute trades better, start to be more calm whilst you're going through the trading process.
Yeah, it was some very well said points there. And, every trader in here that's in this webinar, myself included, Ken included, we've all experienced this. We've all experienced our heart rate, being more nervous around a trade. We've all experienced revenge trading, fear of missing out. And these are all things that we just kind of let pass by. We don't revisit them. We don't, even if we mark them in our journal, you're probably not spending a whole lot of time reviewing the causes of this or how to fix this in the future. And that's what the Neurotrader program is designed to do. And so with that being said, I'd like to introduce the Neurotrader program and the software, which is a joint venture project by Ken and myself. And so basically, we've created a technology and a software that is monitoring your biodata and your biological performance in real time while you're trading, while you're watching the price action, while you're watching the market move up and down. And so, Ken, do you want to say, I'd like you to say a few things about the Neurotrader platform, what it's measuring, why this is important, and how this is going to impact the traders who are listening in on this chat and in this webinar right now.
Excellent. So we measure your heart rate, your peripheral temperature, that is the temperature on your fingertip, and we measure the amount of how much you're perspiring. We take all of this data and we correlate it with price. That's the key thing. To just measure those things is great, but it's when you actually correlate this with price and with your decision making. And as I said earlier, we can see that you are consistently, for instance, entering the market too early. And we'll see examples a little bit later of what that actually looks like and what the opposite looks like. And so by doing that, we really leverage this knowledge of your performance, your responses to the markets with the use of machine learning, or with artificial intelligence. And so we can start to really build these, what we call individualized peak performance profiles of every single trader. Because as human beings, we have patterns of behavior. And whether you're a soccer player like Cristiano Ronaldo and you have certain ways of dribbling and certain ways of taking a free kick and penalty, as traders too, we have certain ways and certain strategies and tactics which we employ in the markets all the time. Some of them are successful, some of them are unsuccessful, but they're all biological responses. And so, as I said, we can see when you're entering the market too early because your heart rate is too high, for instance. You're starting to get too excited too early. And Neurotrader captures this data, correlates it with price, and we can start to measure how early are you consistently entering in the market, how far away are you from the top of the market when you sell, and how far are you from the bottom of the market when you actually buy. And this is the way that we introduce the management of our own performance. We all want to get to sell at peak levels. We always want to buy at the right opportune moment. And it's only by quantifying this process as we do in Neurotrader that we can really start to see how close we're getting and start to get closer. And the next
Ken, it sounds like you're cutting in and out a little bit right now.
Is archery from the bullseye. Can you hear me now?
Ken, I just want to step in a minute. Your connection seems to be just kind of busting in and out. So to translate that, the Neurotrader platform, through its technology and through its AI algorithms, is carefully monitoring you in real time, and it's learning about how you perform in relationship to price action. So as all these kind of biometrics on you are changing, heart rate, galvanic skin response, temperature, everything, perspiration, the platform is correlating it to the price exactly in real time. So in other words, we're seeing how you operate as a trader, biologically and psychophysiologically, in real time while you're trading, demo or live, practicing or real money on the line. We're seeing that, we're basically seeing how you operate inside and out while you're trading, and then giving you this data and scientific feedback to optimize your performance, saying, look, we're finding this when you make these trading decisions. We're finding this when you make these trading decisions, when you're revenge trading, when you're getting into or too late. We're seeing all that in real time. And the algorithm, the AI algorithm, is learning about you as time goes on. So the more time you spend with it, the smarter the algorithm gets about telling you and notifying you, hey, you're in an optimal state for trading right now. You should be pulling the trigger. Or you know what? That trade that you're thinking about doing, you're in a suboptimal or non-optimal state. You should not be trading right now. How valuable would that be to you to have that information in real time? How many trading decisions have you felt like, gosh, I really should get in this one right now, but I just feel nervous. I don't feel right. Or I'm not sure. I'm not confident. And then boom, the market takes off in your favor. And what if the biology and the Neurotrader platform was able to tell you, look, you're fine right now, pull the trigger? How valuable would that information to you? Or how many times have you wondered, should I be getting out of this trade early or not? I don't know. My trade's turning around right now. And what if the Neurotrader platform and biology can tell you, you're in a really non-optimal state right now. You shouldn't be making any trading decisions. Let the trade run. Or, hey, you know what? You're in a great thing right now. Pull the trigger. Go for it. That would be very powerful information. This is the kind of information I wish I had 18 years ago when I was started trading, because I would have been making less mistakes. I would have been experiencing a lot less performance anxiety and been able to regulate it and modulate it with the combination of technology and the platform in real time. So with that being said, Ken and I are going to present to you some actual biodata slides of traders and show you the difference between winning and losing traders. This is real life trades and real life data the biometrics and the psychophysiology and everything that the Neurotrader is collecting, we're going to show you in real time what this looks like. So Ken, do you want to, assuming your internet's all good now, do you want to kind of jump in and kind of explain this first chart to kind of give people, show people what this is about and what the different lines are and metrics, and so they can see how Neurotrader is working?
Yep. So the top chart is the Euro USD, and the bottom chart is the heart rate. And this is of a beginning trader. And so you can see that the heart rate is very volatile, and it's going up to 100 beats per minute. It's decreasing down to 60, then going straight back up to 100. And I was with the trader at the time of this recording, and he's looking at me and he's saying, should I go in or should I go in? You know, and this is what's reflected in his heart rate. And you can see that very large spike at about 1644. Is it 1044?
1044,
that's
yeah.
when I 1044. That's when I told him. I said, listen, if you feel confident, if you feel you should, pull the trigger. And so he ended up going short. And you can see that after the second big spike, as price started to slip in his favor, you can see how his heart rate started to come down. And then he actually took a profit, and we closed up the session. So what it demonstrates is the beginning traders are more nervous. And so, and even a beginning trader, when he's in a winning position, you can tell that the heart rate tells us that he's feeling calm and relaxed. What he's just
Ken, your thing was cutting out again. Can you restate that last sentence real quickly? Okay. Something's happening with Ken's internet there, so I'm just going to jump in real quick. So first off, 100 beats a minute is an incredibly excited state. And if you think about it, a beginning trader is more nervous by default, and that's to be expected, because there's certain things that they don't have trained in their mindset. There's certain things that they're not used to dealing with. So what we're seeing is a lot of volatility, whereas when we go to a professional trader's heart rate, what do you see? First off, they're never even getting to 100 beats a minute. It's consistent, it's steady, it's rhythmic between 60 and 80 beats per minute, which is an excited state, but not like
so
an overly excited state. It's not
what
too
we can
much.
tell is that even with the...
Oh, Ken, sorry, your internet was cutting out for a while, so I just kind of jumped in. So if you're back now, go ahead and kind of share the differences of these two slides. And are you here or no?
I'm not even here. Yep.
Okay.
You there?
Okay, he's back.
Yeah. So as you can see in the next slide, the major difference is even with increased volatility, price is a lot more volatile. The professional trader has a very, very rhythmic heart rate, and you can just really see the difference. This is what's called the peak state. You can see that large, very quick drop at around 11:08, I think it is. That's when the trader actually went into a long position. You can just see it's just instantaneous. There's one decision and the heart rate goes back to being very, very calm and stable because he's bought and price is going up. And there's nothing to worry about. The biology tells us that. Even though the trader might have been thinking, is this going to go to my profit target? The heart rate is telling us that he's in a winning position.
Okay, so let's look at another one here. So this is skin conductance, and we're going to show you the difference between a beginning trader, their skin conductance, versus a professional trader.
Yes, so this is the same trade for the beginning trader. So we knew what the heart rate looked like. And you can see the corresponding increase in his perspiration when I told him to pull the trigger. He really, really got nervous and excited to enter in. And you can see that when the position started to go in his favor, how I said earlier that his heart rate got, how his perspiration decreased as well dramatically, knowing that he was moving into profit.
It's clearly obvious. I mean, skin conductance before, here's the trade, he shorts, relaxes, skin conductance go down. It's just, it's clear as day.
And that's
So
the thing that
conductance.
Yeah, I just want to add to what Chris just said now is that the biology is telling us, you can see it plainly with your own eyes, that the biology is responding to price.
Yes, absolutely. Here's a professional trader's skin conductance on that same chart where he's buying. So he's buying, the market goes up, and here's his skin conductance along the way. Do you want to give a brief comment about that, just kind of showing the differences?
One difference to recall here is that the beginning trader's skin conductance went up to 6.0 when he pulled the trigger. The professional trader's skin conductance, I don't think it goes above 1. Right?
1.4, yeah, 1.5, maybe 1.6.
That's the, so you can see, you know, there's almost 3 times the additional excitement and perspiration and nervousness from the beginning trader than the professional trader. And you can, if you can imagine the 2 pictures earlier of the heart rate of the professional trader and the heart rate of the beginning trader, the differences are the same, whether it's we're talking heart rate or skin conductance, perspiration.
Now here's the Biodata on a winning trade. I think this is also heart rate, and it's showing the stability here in terms of the price action. Do you want to say something about this real quick before we move on to the next slide?
Just to say that you can see the price was very volatile on the upswing. This is a totally different trade. And you can see that the heart rate is very similar to the other winning position that you guys saw.
Yeah.
Very calm, very relaxed.
And here's the heart rate on a losing trader and a non-professional trader. And I mean, it's clear as day in terms of volatility, in terms of heartbeats. This never gets over 100 really. This spends a lot more volatility in the upper range. Anything you'd want to note about this, or anything that stands out for you?
Just a very simple, just a question to everyone. When you see that slide, the last one of the volatility in the heart rate, can you imagine in your own mind when you're in a losing position, what that felt like? Well, whatever that felt like when you recall a losing trade now, when you were very, very nervous, that's what your heart was doing.
It's incredible information. Okay, so let's see, skin conductance, another one. This is another one on a winning trade. I think we've gone over this one here. This is skin conductance on a losing trade. It's just showing the different volatilities. Is there anything you'd want to, anything that stands out for you on this one here? Because this is that same buy trade.
I just want to show how that in the winning trade, skin conductance goes down as price is going up. So the trade has gone long, price shoots up, and you can see so dramatically how perspiration just decreases. The body just literally relaxes and says, I feel good about this. In the next slide, which is the one of the losing trade, you can see how the skin conductance goes dramatically up when he takes the trade, which is very early on the screen. It peaks, he exits for a loss. Skin conductance, now that he's taken his loss, skin conductance decreases, the body relaxes and says, wow, thank God I'm not in that anymore. All of a sudden, he doesn't take the position, and skin conductance races again because his skin conductance knows that he should be in a position. So not to enter a trade that you should be in is a wrong decision, and the body's telling us. So the trader wanted to go long because he wanted to correct his decision, didn't take the long position, and his skin conductance peaked as the body said, you need to get into this. Why are you hesitating? That's performance anxiety on the chart for you.
So to kind of translate this to your experience, you know, everybody, myself included, has had that experience of where we weren't sure about a trade. We don't really feel good about it. We're getting a lot of mixed signals in our mind and our body. and we say, okay, well, the trade's losing. It's not working out the way I wanted to, so I'm going to exit. And there's a stress relief experience. Like, okay, I'm no longer in a losing trade, because dealing with the losing trade can cause a stress response in you. And that's what this trader was experiencing here. They exit the trade, the losing trade, and the stress decreases. But then what happens after you've made, let's say you said, I don't want to get in this trade, and then the stress releases, but then later you realize the price action actually went to your target. So you start beating yourself. Shoot, I should have got in there. That was according to my setup. I don't know why I didn't. You're experiencing performance anxiety. Then another setup comes in, and your body and brain is trying to tell you, look, you need to get long in this market. It's a trade set up according to your plan. You need to get into it. And this is the biology reflecting your inner state of what's going on. But because you're a little nervous about the last losing trade back here, you're experiencing a lot of volatility in your biology and psychophysiology. And so you say, I don't want to take another loss like I did earlier today, so I'm not going to pull the trigger. But what's actually happening is your body and your brain is trying to tell you, look, I've seen this pattern before. The market's going to go up. You need to get long. So there's fragmentation and conflict internally about what you're experiencing. You've experienced that. I've experienced that. Now we can show you what it looks like in terms of your biology inside. So Ken, do you want to say anything about this before we move on?
Yeah, I just wanted to mention everybody, just to reflect back to what the scenario you painted, and to say to yourself, can you recall back the resistance that you felt in your own mind and body when you knew you should have gone in, but you held yourself back? That's what we're showing you. We're showing the live data that when you're second guessing yourself saying, am I resisting this? Should I go in or should I not? This is the data that's telling you plainly, yes, you are.
And how valuable would that be for you to know, like, you're supposed to be getting in a position, but you're not, and the software is saying, look, you're fine, pull the trigger. You're totally fine. Or what if the software is saying, look, you are way off, do not pull the trigger right now, do not do anything. Like, how many missed trades would you be getting in, and how much profit would you be collecting on trades that you should have been in but weren't? Or how many losing trades have you wondered, God, is this going to hit my stop? And your biology's screaming, get out. But you're not listening to it, and you take the full stop and you take the full loss. How valuable would that information be to you? I personally know that it's in the 7 figures for me, and I can imagine for every one of you that the very difference between you losing money and making money could be in these individual trades where biology is going one way and you're going another direction. What if that could be fixed?
It always is. The difference between a losing trader and a winning trader is minute. We all know that we're just off from being. You can feel it in your gut. You believe that you're just. If it just was something a little bit more, you'd break through and become a winning trader. And these are those slight differences that change someone from a losing trader to a winning trader. It's nothing. It's not monumental changes that we need. It's these slight changes of awareness, which this technology gives you in order to make that shift out of a losing trader into a winning trader.
Which means you're closer to profitability than you think. I've worked with thousands of traders. I've trained thousands of traders. I was training traders when I was working for the hedge fund. And one of the things I've learned is that the line between being a profitable trader and non-profitable trader is it's not some big gulf. It's not like you're starting in California and you have to walk all the way across the country to get there. It's not this long journey. It's actually a very short step. And what we're also trying to communicate is that a lot of people think that successful traders are like born with the traits, or they have, certain intelligence and an IQ. None of that is accurate. We're showing you how your biology is different and that we can retrain your biology to be that of a professional trader. That really one of the major differences between a peak performer, like a Tom Brady quarterback in football, American football, and everybody else is that when it's crunch time, it's not that he's clutch in the sense that he's making throws that he normally doesn't make. His performance when he goes into crunch time and those like end of game moments is actually slightly less than what he normally performs. But the difference is he's able to manage his performance anxiety better than everybody else's. Performance only slips just a few percentage points. Whereas other people who are not clutch are not managing their performance anxiety, and their normal performance drops 5, 10, 15 points. So when you compare the two, it's not that Tom Brady is that much more athletic and skillful in clutch moments. He's just managing the performance anxiety better than everybody else, which allows him to trade the way the skills that he has right now. You have skills right now that are probably really close to helping you become profitable. But the difference is when the crunch time comes, you're not making the right decision because of this performance anxiety. And that's what the Neurotrader
it's better to have average skills and great management of your anxiety than to have great skills and poor management of your anxiety, of your performance, of your psychophysiology. It's much better to be an average intelligent guy with average trading skills, but know sooner rather than later to cut your losses short and to stay in a winning position even for 2 more minutes. But to stay in a winning position even for 2 more minutes, it requires self-regulation. You got to calm your heartbeat down. You got to slow your mind down, and you got to relax in the position for another 2 minutes. And those 2 minutes sometimes feel like 2 hours. They do. Everybody knows that. Yeah, and it's nice that you laugh because you're like saying, yeah, I've been there before. And that's the point of what we're talking about. But how do you get there? You need a technology. You need a team that's going to be able to make you shift and manage you and monitor you and give you the support through technology and through all the other things that we're offering in education in order to get you to be a peak performer.
Yeah, as Einstein's famous statement around the theory of relativity, that when you're sitting in class and having to do homework, it feels like it's forever, but when you're sitting next to a pretty girl, it passes in 5 seconds. That's the experience. That's the different internal experience, So, So with Ken's statement, we would like to introduce you the peak performing trader program that we've created with the Neurotrader and the technology. We've created 3 different levels of programs, and it's really dependent upon where do you see yourself in the kind of trading? Where do you see your future in trading? Some people have great jobs. And, like I have one student, he's a photographer. He loves being a photographer. He's a really good photographer. He doesn't want to be a professional trader trading for a hedge fund, 5 days a week, living and breathing this every day. But he does want to trade part-time and supplement his income. And, he doesn't want to be staring in front of screens every day. He likes to be out in nature, but he does want to spend a couple hours a day trading. And he realizes if I only got a few hours a day to trade, I need to make sure I'm getting the maximum amount of effort in that moment, in those 2 hours. I need to make sure I'm in the most optimal state while trading. And so that's why we created a level 1 for him, and so we created a 6-month course where, we're collecting your biodata daily. We're analyzing it monthly. We have correspondence with you, with myself and Ken. So you get monthly personal correspondence with us. You get to attend these webinars, weekly group webinars with the other members, these conference calls, and you get the technology and the software. And that's the 6-month program we have. There are other people who maybe you yourself are sitting there going, look, I do want to trade a little more seriously. I'm not sure if I want to be like a full-time hedge fund trader or trade from home, 5, 6, 7 hours a day. But I am pretty serious about this and I might want to go there. And so that's why we created this kind of level 2 of the program. So it basically takes the core of level 1, but then we increase the amount of interaction, the correspondence, the analysis. Instead of monthly analysis, it's now weekly. You get more conference calls with us. You get more access to us. You're basically getting another level of analytics and data with us. And so these are the people who are kind of in between the want to be a professional trader, trade full-time for a living, do nothing else, versus I want to trade part-time. It's somebody who can go either way and is interested in the potential of becoming a full-time trader, but says, hey, I want a little more serious analysis. I've been doing this for a few years now. I have some experience in the market. I'm interested in going a little deeper. And then we created the 3rd level program for someone who says, look, I am all in on this. I'm putting all my chips on this. I'm giving all my time and energy to this. I do want to trade for a hedge fund for a living. I want to work from home. I do want to commit 5-8 hours a day to doing this, and says, look, I'm taking this very seriously. This is my future. This is my career. And so for those people, and I have many students that are like this, and you can see the difference in them. They are incredibly serious and they're practicing all the time. We created a 12-month course for them so that we are daily collecting your biodata and daily interacting with you and giving you feedback on your biodata in real time every single day. So you do your trading on the Neurotrader, and then we're analyzing the data and we're giving you feedback very quickly. So you're getting quick turnaround in your feedback. You get constant correspondence with us. You get access to all the other material, and then there's other kind of metrics and algorithms we're implementing into the Neurotrader program that'll only be available for the professional level. These are the people who says, look, I either want to work at a hedge fund or an institution or a bank or trade from home. And so we
the other
felt
thing,
like,
I just want to add
please.
one thing for the developing program, the developing trader program. You will get every single day access to a report about your biodata every single day, as does everybody else. The difference is that amount of time that you get with Chris and I.
Yes.
The professional trader gets daily access to Chris and I.
An Olympic athlete and a collegiate player. You know, it's the amount of time and intensity and feedback that they're getting, and how intensely. You know, an Olympic athlete like Michael Phelps, he's getting feedback from his coach every single day, every single minute. Whereas somebody who maybe is just kind of performing at a higher level, but not an Olympic athlete, they're going to get a little less feedback. And it's really just a question of where you want to be. But the thing about it is, I know this may seem like
I just wanted to add that.
Oh, go ahead.
I just wanted to say that the developing trader program will get you to profitable trading. We will get every single person who enters into the developing trader program and commits the right amount of time. So the person does the work. You will get the biodata. We will analyze your trades. It's the fact that every single month we will give you a complete report in terms of your individual peak performance profile. That's going to happen monthly, whereas for the intermediate trader, it's once a week, and for the professional trader, it's every single day. But every single day, you're going to be able to log on, you're going to be able to pull down, have a look at what your stats are in terms of your biodata, even for the developing program. So the whole AI, we're still going to be running all that for every single person in the program.
And keep in mind, we're not just offering a training program, we're actually offering potential job opportunities for people to trade for our hedge fund. Ken and I are building our own online hedge fund using this wearable technology. And so basically what we're doing is saying, look, we're not just offering you the training, we're offering you a chance to get a job trading for us after. Those who complete the program can qualify to potentially trade for us. And so we said, look, if we're going to train you to become peak performing traders, we want you to trade for us. We want you to trade for our hedge fund. We've trained you. We know how you think. We know how you operate. Now we want to integrate you directly into our own hedge fund. So we're saying, look, after the 6 or 12-month program, whichever program you trade, you can get a job with us. Just by completing the program, you automatically qualify for a potential job with us. And so we're giving you an opportunity not just to change the way you think, trade, and perform, but we're also offering a potential job for you at the end of this, because we want to build an online trading hedge fund built around this technology, that all our traders are using this technology. They're all integrated into the system, and we're all seeing you perform at an optimal level in real time and working with you in this advanced way. There's nothing like this. And so, Ken, do you want to say anything about this before we kind of jump into Q&A? Because I'm sure we're going to have a lot of questions here.
I wanted to say that this is the differentiating. We are the first hedge fund in the world to be managing our risk by managing the biodata of our traders. We are the first hedge fund in the world to incorporate artificial intelligence and machine learning to manage risk, to do portfolio design, to balance the portfolio daily, to allocate assets and risk management parameters, and execute trades based on biodata AI. And this is our pitch to our institutional investors, where it's, who would you rather invest in? A group of guys, it doesn't matter what the firm is, that is not managing the biology and the psychophysiology of their traders when they're betting your money? Or would you rather give your money to us, where we actually are monitoring even the fatigue of our traders? We don't let our traders trade when they're under fatigue, when they're too excited, when they're angry, nervous, and all these things. What sort of a risk management system would you rather invest in? And that's our pitch to the institutional investors.
Yes, it's so key. It's clear. Where would you rather park money? To me, it's a no-brainer answer. So we're going to take questions now for the next 5-10 minutes or however long Adindo will let us stand here. I did put up just a few kind of questions that kind of commonly came up the first time we did this webinar for Second Skies Forks members. And so, we just want to let you know, it doesn't matter what tier you join in, 1, 2, or 3, you all have an opportunity to qualify to trade for us. You don't have to. Do you have to trade on a live account to qualify? Yes. You can join with yes, but not always. If you have good performance on a demo and you're going through our program and we can see like, wow, this person's doing a really good job managing trades on demo with their Biodata, we're totally cool with that. The fact is that we understand how you operate and we've trained you. So it doesn't have to be a live account. It can be demo. And, it doesn't matter what size account. We're not saying you have to have a minimum amount in your account size, because we're looking to hire people from all over the world, and everybody's going to have different size accounts based upon where they are. So, and then the last question is, do you have to be profitable? Yes, but there's no minimum percent return. So as long you could be 0.1% profitable over a specific period of time, and that will qualify you for it. So, with that being said, we'd like to open this up to questions right now, because we've been speaking for a little bit now, and we're sure you have a lot of questions about this. So now would be the time to go ahead and type your questions on the YouTube chat, and then we can kind of start answering them.
Yeah, what I wanted to add was I just wanted to say that we understand that there's guys out there who have excellent potential and excellent drive and excellent passion to be a successful trader and don't have the money. So people turn around and say, yeah, I can, but I don't have $6.99. If I had it, I would pay it every single month. I only have enough for the first tier. I have $149. I got an email last night, very much similar to what I just said. And it's like, we understand that. We understand that you can't fund your own account, but we're looking for certain qualities in people, and we're going to manage your biodata so we have that level of certainty that we can turn you into a peak performing trader, and we can bank money on you.
So with that being said, I'm looking at the YouTube chat. I'm not seeing any questions come through right now because it's showing something else. But with that being said, what questions do you all have for us at this point? Go ahead and type into the chat. And just to let Adinda know, the YouTube link you sent me is showing some other video. It's not showing our video, and it's not, I don't see any new questions coming in. So maybe I'm missing it, but yeah, I'm not seeing any. Let me see here if I can find this somewhere else.
I can see a chat here, a comment here. Ali Yai, she said, what is the perfect time to close the trade? Because till now I keep regretting my closing. So it's a difficult question to maybe answer in such a short period of time, but this is a question that goes to a lot of things. Do you have objectives? Do you have a profit target? If you don't have a profit target, then then you're definitely going to regret. And this is a part of your psychophysiology. Again, this is a type of psychological problem, which ends up being a psychophysiological problem that would take some time to actually get better at. So if you were to, because we have a trained certified psychologist on staff as well, who also is conducting the program with Chris and I. And so this is a type of performance anxiety, regretting your closing, regardless of when you close. So if you want to send us an email to Chris or myself, and we can chat about that a little bit in greater detail. Anthony Stewart said, what is the cost of this program? So there's 3 costs, $149 per month, $499 per month, or $699 per month.
And all of
because
those
you
include,
are,
I see the questions now, all of those include the software and the physical technology as well.
you get the wearable device, all your data is collected, stored, analyzed, the AI, all the reporting, access to Chris and I, webinars, educational material. I got an email last night where the person says, will you teach us how to read biodata? Absolutely. We want everybody to be a peak performer. That means you understand your heart rate, you understand your skin conductance, and you understand your peripheral temperature. You can't, people like Nico Rosberg and the Lewis Hamilton, they know how to build a car motor. You know what I mean? They know about the suspension in their car. They know about the ride height and everything they know. So, yes, in order to be a peak performer, regardless of what industry, you need to know the ins and outs. And with us, you're going to learn about psychophysiology, about your biology, why you make the decisions that you make so that you can start to change the way that you perform.
Okay, so I see the questions now. Frederick has a question, and that was some great answers there, Ken. So Fred's saying, how does this make a professional trader out of a newbie? So I'll give a short answer, and then Ken can give a short answer. So first off, with the Neurotrader platform and monitoring your data in real time, we start to learn and build a profile about you in terms of how you perform, in terms of, okay, when you're pulling the trigger, when you're not pulling the trigger, should you be pulling the trigger? Is your biology saying, look, you should be getting into this trade right now? Or is it saying, hey, you're completely off on your read on this one here? So that's kind of like a surface way or an initial way that it does that. But the AI algorithms and programs behind Neurotrader over time, as it builds more and more data about you, it can start to kind of identify patterns in your biology and psychophysiology behind your winning trades and losing trades. And then it can start to match that and let you know when you're in those states or not. But then on top of it, it's monitoring how you relate to individual instruments and their volatility. Every instrument has its own different price action and volatility. So what if the biodata is able to, and the Neurotrader platform is over time, it starts realizing, wow, this person does great on shorts and their biology is great on shorts, but on longs, they're completely off. Or, hey, guess what? When this person's trading euro dollar, their biology is way off. But when they trade dollar yen, it's totally on. Like, how valuable would that information to be to you? And, what if you had a software that was informing you of that in real time, or analyzing your data over days and days and weeks and months and saying, look, you do great with these types of volatility instruments and you don't do good with these types of instruments? How much time would that save you in making trades in an instrument that's just not, it doesn't match well with your skill set and biology? How valuable would that be to you? A lot of people say, what pair should I trade? What instrument should I trade? How should I trade this? And there's no way for me to clear-cut answer that because everybody's going to be different. But the Neurotrader program solves this in the sense that it learns how you operate in real time and can tell you which instruments you tend to perform well on and which ones you don't. So there are many other ways that I can kind of describe to you, Frederick, in terms of how this software will change the way you think, trade, and perform. But that's just a few of the ways. Ken, is there something else that you'd like to add to this before we move on?
Just 2 points. The first thing is that this technology, regardless of what it's used for, which application, whether sport or trading, it decreases the learning curve, right? But the second point that I want to mention is that Chris is also, with Second Skies Forex, everybody who joins this program is getting access to his price action course and advanced traders mindset course. So as a newbie, you want to learn certain techniques in terms of price action. So you're going to be able to do that through Chris's program, educational course on price action, and we're going to cut down the learning curve. That is, by monitoring your biology, we're going to get you to make less mistakes, smaller mistakes, and less of them than if you went and just did trial and error to start to trade well.
Yeah. And it's, and this is something that, was kind of a big thing, which is that if you look at the trading and education industry today, you take a course and it's either pumping you a bunch of information then saying, go have fun, or maybe it is skill focused. It's focused on teaching you skills and it is giving you some feedback. But the difference between an Olympic athlete and a non-professional athlete is that the Olympic athlete is getting quantified data and information about their performance. It's the feedback that they're getting from that performance is continual and ongoing. It's very quick. And on top of it, it's targeted specifically to them. And so if you think about it, imagine having this kind of personalized, targeted information just for you. I can't overstate the benefits of it. It changes the model of how you're doing it. Right now, you're probably only measuring 5, maybe 10 metrics of your current performance data. None of you are measuring biodata, and none of you are getting consistent, regular feedback and analysis on your performance. This completely changes the model of how training should be done, which we believe should be quantified, regular, consistent, and targeted towards you. And that's what this offers. So we only have a few more minutes. What other questions do y'all have at this point so far? Let's see. Who's here? Anyone have any other questions at this point? I know we've answered the questions at this point, and I know it's being recorded, and FX Street is going to make this available later. I think they'll be sending out a link. They'll send it out to us. We'll make sure we send it out to everybody. But does anybody have any other questions before we kind of wrap this up and say our final comments? Doesn't look like it. So, wow, that didn't go well. I don't know why that is, but I'm going to change that in a second. Oh, somebody's taking over. It doesn't look like any other questions at this point in time. So with that being said, Ken and I first want to thank FX Street. It's good to be back. If the interest is there, which we think it's going to be with the members of FX Street, we're open to considering doing either a weekly or twice a month or once a month follow-up webinar where we're consistently showing bio data of our students in this program and say, look, winning trade, losing trade, here's how it's, here's the difference in the bio data, and explaining, continually showing you how the Neurotrader program works. So if there is that interest and FX Street wants to do something like that, we are open to continuing doing webinars and keep coming back and showing you again and again how the Neurotrader platform is going to completely change the way you think, trade, and perform, and how it can benefit you as a trader and save you a lot of money and losses and help you just get over that final hump between winning and losing, becoming a profitable trader who's trading consistently and someone who's consistently floundering around in the market, making the same mistakes over and over again. And I'm guessing that's many of you out there. I'm guessing when you look at your trading, you find yourself consistently making the same mistakes over again. You're not getting enough analysis and feedback that is quantified, that is scientific, that is data measured and backed by data. You're not getting that right now in your process. And that's what we're offering you, an opportunity. It's an incredible opportunity. So with that being said, before, if Ken has any other comments, you can come in a second here, but you can check out the program at secondskiesforex.com and at Neurotrader as well. I'm going to put a link into this whole thing right now, into the chat that y'all can go to. And let me get this for you here. And if you have questions, you can contact Ken or myself. We have done a video on this and kind of explain the FAQ, but for those of you that want to learn more about the program or watch another video on it, then here, I'm going to put this in right over here. In the secondskiesforex.com, there's a video to that. And then there's the Neurotrader website as well, where you can go to learn more about the program directly. So if you have any questions, feel free to visit either of those pages. You can also email me directly, chris@secondskiesforex.com. And you can also email Ken. Ken can put his email into the chat. Ken, is there anything else you want to say before we wrap it up?
I just wanted to comment on Frederick's. He said about using brain data. I just wanted to say that we've done years of neurofeedback work. The part of it is called QEEG, And measuring the brain and the body, there's no great advantage by using neurofeedback or measuring the brain for trading. In addition, it's actually very cumbersome to wear a headset, whether it's regardless of what type of sensors you use, it's not very practical and it doesn't enhance the trading decisions. So after 9 years worth of research and development, we've found that Biodata is by far the superior thing to do, especially for traders who are sitting down and trading in front of screens. Biodata is absolutely the way to go. So to close, the couple sentences that I want to say only. Biodata is the future of trading. Everybody in the next 5 to 10 years will be trading with a wearable device, from institutions to retail traders. That's a definite, it's a guarantee. The question for everybody here is, when will you start to do it? When will you join? Are you going to be an early adopter or a laggard or somewhere in between? We are the first people in the world that are doing it. Next year, we'll be taking on institutions, and that's going to blow everything in the media in terms of Bloomberg and the Financial Times and a lot of other channels that we have. So my invitation to you guys is, with 9 years of research invested in this, the amount of, combined with Chris, we have 36 years of trading experience. This is the way to go if you want to become a profitable trader. And you're welcome to join us. We're going to give everything of ourselves in order for you to get to where you want to be, which is to be making money out of the markets.
Well, I think we can end on that. And so with that being said, we want to thank FX Street for this opportunity. And we want to thank you all for coming. It's great presenting to you here. We're going to continue on with this right now. And hopefully we'll be able to do more webinars at FX Street, kind of showing the differences of the platform, showing how its students' performance are changing over time, saying like, look, here was their bio data in the beginning, and here it is now, weeks, months later. You can see that it's much more professional. It's improving across the board. And here's the difference in their numbers and their trading performance. Their losses are smaller, their wins are longer, they have more winning trades. We're going to continue to show you this over time. So we look forward to that opportunity and to see you again in the future. So with that being said, we want to wish you all good luck trading. And if you feel like, wow, I could be profitable, you're close, but you're not there yet, then come talk to us. We have a solution to help you bridge that final gap and go that extra mile to become a profitable trader. We have a unique technology and experience and science behind this. And we're looking to work with people who really are interested in this technology and this program. So with that being said, thank you to FX Street. Thank you to Ken for being here. I want to wish you all good luck trading, and we will hope to see you guys the next time. So take care, everyone.
Thank you very much, everyone.